All right, let's crank it up. Today we're diving into rock and roll
Yeah,
and how it exploded onto the
it's a
scene.
big one.
Way more than just blue suede shoes, right?
Mm.
We've got articles, timelines,
Mhm.
even some passionate YouTube comments.
Oh, wow. Passionate.
Oh, yeah, some strong opinions out there. And we're going to uncover the real story.
What you've given us here is a real puzzle, a musical puzzle.
I like that.
It's a genre that didn't just appear, right? It evolved from all these different traditions,
Yeah.
social changes, even technology played a part.
Oh, absolutely. Our timeline kicks off way back in the late 1800s.
Wow.
With the phonograph?
No way.
Yeah, Thomas Edison had a hand in rock history.
Huh. Who knew?
But that's just the beginning.
Yep.
We're going to uncover some surprising early influencers, the ingredients, and how rock and roll really challenged everything.
All the good stuff.
Buckle up, because this deep dive is going to get loud.
I am buckled. Let's do it.
Okay, so a lot of people think Elvis is where it all starts.
Right.
But that's like listening to a song from the middle of the album.
Yeah, you got to go back.
You got to rewind.
Rewind to the beginning.
So when it comes to the first rock and roll song, it's not that simple, right?
No.
We've got a few contenders here, each with its own little something special.
Okay, I like
That adds to the rock and roll recipe.
That.
One contender is Rocket 88 from 1951.
Yeah.
Jackie Brenston and his Delta Cats, featuring Ike Turner on the piano,
Right.
often credited with one of the first distorted electric guitars.
Ah, that sound.
Yeah, that sound. But our sources also point to Louis Jordan,
Okay.
his jump blues hits.
I-
We're talking Caledonia from 46.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fish Fry from 49.
Oh.
They had an energy, a little bit of sometimes a suggestive style.
Pushing the boundaries.
Definitely pushing the boundaries. And what's interesting is that jump blues kind of bridged the gap
Okay, how so?
between jazz, blues, and what would become rock and roll. It's like a missing link.
A missing link. I like it.
And let's not forget technology.
Right.
The phonograph and radio, they were like these musical megaphones,
Exactly.
spreading the sound across America,
Mhm.
creating that demand for something new and fresh.
You're absolutely right. Technology was huge.
Huge.
Connecting musicians and audiences
Yeah.
in ways they never could before. It's like how social media works today.
Exactly. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Honestly, a bit uncomfortable.
Uh-oh.
The story of rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's deeply connected to the history of Black music in America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a truth that often gets kind of lost.
Lost in the shuffle.
Lost in the shuffle, yeah.
Yeah.
Like someone tried to rewrite the album cover.
Interesting. How so?
Well, one way this happened was white artists covering songs,
Okay.
originally performed by Black artists.
Like, for example.
We've got Pat Boone's cover of Little Richard's Tutti Frutti.
Oh, yeah.
Little Richard's, that was raw energy. That signature shout, made some people blush a little.
Right. Right.
But Boone's, it was toned down, made it more palatable
Palatable. Yeah.
for a mainstream audience. And guess whose version topped the charts?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is. And sadly, that wasn't just, a one-time thing.
Right.
This pattern of white artists achieving more success with Black-originated songs.
Yeah.
But the important thing to understand is that this practice of co-opting Black music for profit, it's continued.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in different forms. And the early days of rock and roll are no exception.
It's crucial to understand the context. Yeah. The power dynamics, right? It wasn't just about, oh, I like this song better.
Right.
It was about who had the resources, who controlled the industry,
Yeah, who benefit?
who was making the money.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Black artists were often pushed aside,
Yeah.
even though their creativity was driving the sound.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that behind the music,
Yes.
there's this whole social and cultural story,
That's right.
just as important.
It is.
And that brings us to some key figures
Okay, let's hear it.
who shaped rock and roll.
All right.
Names you might not expect.
Oh.
I mean, sure, Elvis.
Yeah.
But get ready to expand that rock and roll playlist.
Already.
Okay, let's start with Sister Rosetta Tharpe,
Okay.
often called the godmother of rock and roll.
Oh, wow. I've heard that.
This woman was a force.
I bet.
Her voice, her guitar, her stage presence, she was years ahead of her time.
In what way?
She was shredding on the electric guitar
Okay.
in the 30s and 40s.
Wow.
Blending gospel, blues, a touch of rock and roll before it even had a name.
Wow, that's amazing.
You can hear her influence in so many artists that came after her.
Like who?
From Chuck Berry to Elvis himself.
Wow.
Next up, we've got Louis Jordan, a pioneer of jump blues.
Jump blues, yeah.
This guy was a master blending humor, rhythm, storytelling in his music.
Nice.
Some music historians, they even call him a proto-rapper.
Oh, really?
His energetic delivery, witty lyrics,
Okay.
definitely had an influence.
On early rock and roll.
Yes. And speaking of influential figures, we can't forget Sam Phillips.
Sam Phillips, of course.
The founder of Sun Records.
Right.
He's the guy who famously said, "I'm looking for a white man who sings with the Negro feel."
Wow. That's a...
And his discovery of Elvis Presley would change music history.
Yeah, I did.
He had a knack for recognizing that raw talent.
Yeah.
And he played a pivotal role in launching the careers of not just Elvis, but Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins.
The giants.
All giants of rock and roll.
It's amazing how it all comes together.
It is. But there's one more name we got to mention.
Okay, who's that?
Alan Freed, the DJ.
Alan Freed. Okay.
Who popularized the term rock and roll.
The term itself. Wow.
His radio shows were groundbreaking.
I bet.
He introduced white audiences to Black artists, helped break down racial barriers.
Yeah. At a time when
segregation was still the norm.
Wow.
Talk about the power of music to bring people together.
Yeah, really is.
But of course, not everyone was on board with this new sound.
That's
this sound that was shaking up the status quo.
Shaking things up.
In fact, rock and roll was met with resistance.
Really?
Even fear.
Fear.
It was labeled the devil's music by some.
The devil's music. Wow.
Seen as a threat to, like, traditional values, a corrupting influence on youth.
I see. So
we've got quotes here that capture the moral panic.
Oh, like what?
One newspaper article called Rock and Roll, a cannibalistic and tribalistic rhythm that would lead to moral depravity.
Can you believe that?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
How something as simple as music could evoke these strong reactions.
Yeah, anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety. But that's the thing about rock and roll.
What is it?
It wasn't just about the music.
Right.
It was a reflection of social change, of a generation pushing back against the norms. And that made some people very uncomfortable.
Makes sense. It's like rock and roll was the soundtrack to a cultural revolution.
No, I like that.
That was just getting started.
And that's where we'll pick things up in part 2.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
You know, it's easy to just get caught up in the music.
Yeah.
But rock and roll was more than just catchy tunes.
Okay.
It was a cultural earthquake.
Oh, wow.
That shook the foundations of post-war America.
Okay, so paint a picture for me.
Okay.
What was happening in society that made rock and roll so powerful?
Imagine a world where young people were expected to just follow their parents' footsteps, conform, you know, to these strict social norms.
Right.
Then suddenly there's this music.
Yeah.
It's all about breaking free, expressing yourself, questioning authority.
So it gave a voice to a generation that was ready to rebel.
Exactly. And it wasn't just the music. It was the clothes, the hairstyles, the attitude.
Okay.
Everything about rock and roll challenged the status quo.
Wow.
It was a symbol of youthful rebellion.
Yeah.
And it terrified some folks.
I bet.
While electrifying others.
And you can't underestimate the role of teenagers.
Oh, no.
With their newfound spending power.
Oh, yeah.
Our sources point out that they were a huge market for this new music, driving the demand for records and concerts.
They had money to spend.
Yeah.
And they wanted to spend it on something that reflected their own experiences.
Okay.
Something their parents didn't understand.
Right.
And that created a whole new dynamic in the music industry.
It's like rock and roll gave teenagers their own cultural identity.
Precisely. It gave them a way to connect, to express their frustrations, their aspirations, create a world separate from the adult world.
And let's not forget, this was all happening against the backdrop of the Civil Rights Movement.
That's right.
Rock and roll played a role in challenging racial segregation.
You're right.
Even if it wasn't always intentional.
It wasn't explicitly political.
Okay.
But it created spaces where black and white audiences came together, united by their love of the music.
Wow, that's powerful.
Alan Freed's integrated concerts were a prime example of this.
Imagine black and white teenagers dancing together, defying the segregationist laws.
palatable.
The attitudes of the time.
Yeah, it must have been electrifying.
Yeah.
And for some, incredibly unsettling.
It was a statement, even if it wasn't always conscious.
Right.
It showed that music could transcend racial boundaries.
Yes.
And that young people, they were eager for a more integrated future.
Yeah. Makes you wonder, was rock and roll a cause of social change? Or was it simply reflecting the changes that were already happening?
It's probably a bit of both, right?
Probably.
I mean, rock and roll didn't create the civil rights movement.
Right.
But it provided a soundtrack for it.
Yeah.
A way for young people to express their desire for equality.
And in doing so,
yeah,
it helped to accelerate those changes.
Okay, let's talk about some iconic moments.
Okay, let's do it.
We can't skip over Elvis. 1956 on The Ed Sullivan Show.
Huge.
Our sources describe it as a cultural explosion.
It's hard to overstate the impact.
Yeah.
I mean, Elvis,
yeah,
his moves, his voice,
yeah,
he was like nothing anyone had seen before.
Yeah.
He was alluring and dangerous.
Yeah.
And it drove audiences wild.
I can only imagine the gasps from the audience.
Especially
when the camera's just focused on him from the waist up.
Exactly.
It was seen as so provocative.
Yeah.
And it sparked this national debate about morality and decency. Parents were outraged. Teenagers were enthralled.
Wow.
And Elvis became a symbol of everything that was both exciting and terrifying about rock and roll.
Wow, that's a good way to put it.
And then there's Blackboard Jungle.
Okay, Blackboard Jungle.
1955 film.
Okay.
That featured Bill Haley and his Comets, Rock Around the Clock.
Oh, yeah, that one.
This movie really tapped into those anxieties surrounding juvenile delinquency and teenage rebellion.
Interesting.
And rock and roll became the soundtrack to that anxiety.
It's fascinating how rock and roll could be both a symbol of youthful energy and a source of fear.
Yeah, for adults.
It represented this generation gap.
Right.
A clash between the old and the new.
I see.
And it played out on dance floors and movie screens across the country.
Speaking of anxieties, let's talk about Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix?
Burning his guitar.
Oh, at Monterey.
At the Monterey Pop Festival in '67.
Yeah.
Our sources suggest there's more to that story than meets the eye.
I'm intrigued.
You know, a lot of people interpret it as just a rebellion or showmanship. But Hendrix himself explained that it was much deeper.
Oh, right.
He was trying to convey the turmoil and chaos of the Vietnam War.
Wow.
The violence and injustice.
Yeah.
It was a sacrifice, a ritualistic burning of the old.
Okay.
To make way for the new.
That adds a whole new layer of meaning.
Doesn't it? It wasn't just destruction.
No.
It was about expressing this profound sense of pain and frustration.
Exactly.
And it's interesting to think about how rock and roll itself was changing.
How so?
It was moving beyond simple rebellion and exploring these more complex themes.
Like what?
War, peace, social justice.
Right.
Hendrix's performance was a reflection of that shift.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, of course, there's Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Almost impossible to talk about rock and roll without mentioning it.
Right.
This legendary festival, it became a symbol of peace, love, and music.
Woodstock was a moment of utopian idealism, a gathering of hundreds of thousands who believed that music could change the world.
It's a powerful image.
It was a fleeting glimpse of a different kind of society.
Yeah.
Where love and peace prevailed.
But even Woodstock had its share of problems, right?
Absolutely.
It was chaotic, overcrowded. The weather was a nightmare.
Yeah, and that's part of what makes it so fascinating.
Okay.
It was both a triumph of the counterculture movement and a reminder of its limitations.
Right.
It showed the power of music to bring people together, but also the challenges of creating a truly utopian society.
It's a reminder that even the most iconic moments in rock history, they're complex.
Yeah, they are.
And multifaceted.
They're precisely.
And that complexity is what makes exploring this history so rewarding.
I agree.
So we've gone from Elvis shaking his hips on TV to Hendrix setting his guitar on fire.
It's quite the journey.
It's clear that rock and roll wasn't just standing still. It was evolving, splitting off into different subgenres, each with its own unique sound and message.
You know, that's something we should explore further.
Okay.
How did rock and roll splinter and evolve in the years after Woodstock?
That's a story for part 3.
I can't wait.
We've journeyed from the birth of rock and roll through those iconic moments that defined a generation. But as we know, music never stands still.
Never.
So what happened after the peace and love vibes of Woodstock?
Right.
Did rock and roll fade away, or did it, morph into something new?
What's fascinating is that rock and roll didn't just fade away.
Okay.
It kind of went through a musical mitosis.
Mitosis.
Yeah, splitting, evolving.
Okay.
Into a multitude of subgenres.
Like that one band you loved in high school that's suddenly experimenting with different instruments.
Exactly.
Okay.
Different sounds.
So I'm picturing a musical family tree.
Okay.
With rock and roll at the roots. And these branches shooting out in different directions.
I like it.
So what were some of those branches? What were those new sounds?
Well, in the 70s, you had glam rock.
Okay.
David Bowie. T-Rex.
Okay.
All glitter and theatricality.
Right.
And then punk rock.
Punk?
Yeah, the Ramones, Sex Pistols.
Okay.
Rejecting the mainstream.
Yeah.
Spitting in the face of convention.
Punk was a real shock to the system, wasn't it?
It was.
Loud, fast, angry.
Yeah.
It was like a sonic rebellion.
Exactly.
Against the excesses of the music industry.
Punk stripped rock and roll down to its bare essentials.
Okay.
Raw energy, simple chords, a DIY ethic.
And let's not forget heavy metal.
Oh, of course.
Which cranked up the volume,
the
intensity,
yeah,
a whole new world of sonic power.
Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin,
yeah,
pioneers of this genre.
It's interesting how each of these subgenres reflected the social and political climate.
Yeah.
Punk was born out of economic hardship and social unrest. Heavy metal tapped into a sense of alienation and rebellion. So rock and roll wasn't just reflecting cultural changes.
Right.
It was actively shaping them.
It was
offering different outlets for different experiences and frustrations.
Absolutely.
And as we moved into the 80s, you saw new wave, synth pop, hair metal, new wave bands like Blondie, The Cars.
Right.
They brought a more polished, synth-driven sound, while hair metal bands like Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, they embraced that theatricality of glam rock and cranked up the volume.
Hairspray and power ballads.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't all big hair and power chords.
No.
There was also this growing alternative rock scene.
Right.
REM, the Pixies.
Yeah.
Paving the way for grunge.
The grunge explosion of the 90s with its flannel shirts and angst-ridden lyrics.
Right.
It was a reaction against the perceived superficiality of hair metal.
And the commercialization of music.
Bands like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, they brought this raw, introspective sound that resonated.
With a generation.
Yeah.
Disillusioned with the status quo.
It's amazing to see how rock and roll continued to reinvent itself.
I know, it's incredible.
Decade after decade.
Yeah.
Always finding new ways to express anxieties and aspirations of each generation.
And that's what makes it so enduring.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving, adapting, reflecting the world.
Even today, new artists are drawing inspiration from the pioneers.
That's right.
And pushing rock music.
In exciting new directions.
So after this deep dive into rock and roll, what's the biggest takeaway for you?
For me.
What should our listener be thinking about as they put on their favorite rock album?
I think the biggest takeaway is that rock and roll is more than just a genre.
Okay.
It's a cultural force.
Yeah.
A reflection of our history.
Right.
And a testament to the power of creative expression. It's about breaking down barriers, challenging norms, finding your own voice in a world that often tries to silence you.
It's a reminder that behind every song, every riff, every drum beat, there's a story waiting to be discovered.
There is.
So the next time you crank up that volume on your favorite rock anthem, remember the journey it took to get there?
Right.
The pioneers who paved the way and the cultural forces that shaped the sound?
And remember, the story of rock and roll is still being written.
That's a great point.
Every new band, every new song adds another layer.
Absolutely.
To this rich and ever-evolving tapestry.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of rock and roll.
Rock on.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through music history.
That was fun.
We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.